to The Show, a weekly talk with local and national artists, musicians, and venues to learn from their experience and unique perspective. This month, we are graciously hosted by the Clearwater Center for the Arts.
Okay, welcome to the show. My name's Randall and I'm your host. So my guest this week is abstract surrealist Scott Menaul. Hey Scott, thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Sure. So let me ask you, who are you? What do you do? What is an abstract surrealist?
Well, my name is Scott Menaul and I have a gallery and studio in Clearwater, Florida. And I create abstract artwork, but it has an element of surrealism in it, in that it's not just splatterings of color or fields of color. My abstracts have some shape to it, and it's surrealist in the fact that it's kind of like dreamlike. It's something that is real, but it's kind of like out of a dream because it doesn't really have, it has some elements of reality, but it's out of context, so it's surrealist.
Right. Well, I've seen some of your work, and it's pretty fabulous. It definitely elicits an emotional response when you view it. So, as an artist, what exactly are you trying to accomplish?
Well, artwork greatly affects mood, all right? And there are a lot of places that don't have any artwork and it feels dead and lifeless. So what I'm trying to do is create artwork that enhances people's lives. So in their home or their workplace, they have artwork that makes them feel comfortable, makes them feel energized, motivated. So that's really my goal.
That's terrific. Okay, so just tell me briefly, like, when and how did you get started in this stuff?
Well, my first creative endeavor started in high school when I started doing photography, and I didn't have money to buy a fancy camera, so I started pinhole photography. So I built my own cameras out of shoe boxes, and that kind of started my creative adventure in life. And then years later, I became an advertising photographer in the Boston area, and I did a lot of work for some large companies, and I started getting into working digitally on the computer with 3D rendering tools. I would create these ads for clients with products that didn't exist yet, so I would create them in 3D rendering programs. And then I discovered that with these programs, I could actually create abstract artwork. So I started having fun with that, and I had a show at the first Cyber Arts Festival in Boston in 1999. That's when it started, creating my art digitally on the computer. And then when I sold my business in the Boston area and moved down to Clearwater, Florida, then I started doing my artwork full time, and I started doing outdoor art festivals, and that's where I started to get the response from the people, and I could really hone in on what people were, what they liked and what they're willing to buy, and that's really my story.
That's great. So who or what was your biggest influence when you were first beginning as a full-time artist?
Well, there are two influences. First was my mother. She was a part-time oil painter, and she used to take art lessons, and I would watch her paint. So that was an influence and gave me the idea of like being creative. And then for my abstract artwork, it was actually Jean Miro who influenced me the most. When I first saw his work in my college years, it really struck me because here was something that was abstract and surrealist. It didn't have reference to the real world. So that made me think that anything is possible, it's just not, scenics and still lifes and things like that. It's like, your imagination has no limits. You can do almost anything. So that kind of gave me the foundation and the viewpoint that launched me into being an abstract surrealist.
Excellent. So we're going to take a short pause for a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll take a look at some of Scott's art.
At the Clearwater Center for the Arts, we bring out the artist in everyone. Whether it's classes, kids camps, live music, film screenings, or a special event you would like us to host, Clearwater Center for the Arts is the place to be. Our purpose is to imbue Clearwater with art and to inspire and enrich our community by offering exceptional events, classes, performance, and visual arts exhibits.
Tune in next week for audio engineer Simon Schofield.
Okay, we're back. Okay, Scott, so let's take a look at some of your art. What's this first one we're going to look at?
Okay, we're going to look at Sunset Triptych, which is one of my most popular pieces. I create them as limited editions. Being a digital artist, most of my pieces are limited editions, although I do have some mixed media pieces now. But this is a limited edition. I've sold quite a number of them over the years. And it has a rich color scheme. It has sunset colors, but it has like a turquoise horizon. And it's a color scheme that a lot of people really enjoy. And it includes geometric objects, which I've always been fond of geometric objects. I have, actually, there's a bit of a story, but I have a degree in electrical engineering, and I studied lots of math. So I like the precision and the perfectness of geometric objects. So in this piece, it's in the center is a sphere, and then I have a cube and a pyramid and two torus-shaped objects, which is a donut shape.
Looks fabulous. What's this next piece we're going to look at?
So this is my latest piece, and it's a mixed media piece, and it's called Abstract Journeys.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay, that's fabulous. Now, do you have any tips for other artists in general, like regarding art or the commerce of art and stuff like that? What would be your like main tips?
Well, if you want to sell your artwork, then you have to realize that you have a business, and your success is going to depend largely upon your business knowledge and ability. And you've got to do everything that a business needs to do. You need to market, you need to sell, you need to do PR, you need to do all these things. And artists aren't always aware of that or realize the importance of all of that. But that's critical to your success if you want to make money as an artist.
That makes perfect sense. So what do you got coming up next? Any shows coming up, or where are you going to be?
Well, I'm not doing as many shows as I used to. I'm only doing a few a year. I used to do like 30, 40 a year. But now I'm selling more and more on the internet. So I'm focusing on my internet presence and doing some videos to get my work out there and seen to a large audience.
Okay, well, where can the viewers see your stuff?
They can see them on my website at www.menaul, menaul-art.com.
Okay, well, I'll print that on the bottom too.
Or you can just search for Menaul Fine Art and you'll find me.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thanks again, Scott. It was a pleasure having you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so tune in next week when we're going to have audio engineer Simon Schofield.